Hi everyone, we're flowing on to session 16. We are flowing with the universal energy into what's happening for us in this now moment. And this session will bring us into the importance of the now moment. Because essentially we're here for that, because every moment is an opportunity. It just is an opportunity, because we are in the opportunity to grow. Life experience is an opportunity for the soul to grow. We're not here for anything else. Essentially, we can enjoy it all, the various aspects, the various aspects of being here on earth. But essentially, when we leave, we're going to look back at how much we grew from the love that we are and shared, or blocked it off and held ourselves back. So then we'll just continue learning on, because the soul is eternal. So, spiritual clearing, flow session 16. No human is immune to feeling. Now that might seem straight to the point. Yes, I do feel. But a lot of the time people don't realize their feelings are signs and symbols, wanting them to be present with them, to then be in touch with that feeling that you can't touch. So you're in touch with what's going on in your body, the various descriptions you could describe. But the fact is, the human is noticing what's going on the deeper level, behind the scenes, that others can't necessarily see yet, although sometimes you can. But the point is, you're noticing how you're feeling, and we're not immune to that. But we can go through life avoiding, ignoring, putting things to the side till they build up, ignoring the signs, essentially, the spiritual signs, because every moment our spirit is in the opportunity of learning. So like the experience I'm in with the twin soul, twin flame soul reunion experience, it's like if we're present to what's going on in the moment and we're maintaining that, then we'll feel whole. And from my other videos, you will hear me speak about, and other teachers as well, the importance of what to be aware of that makes us whole. It's not necessarily this physical world coming toward us, but who we are beneath and without image or identity, and us resonating the truth of that and allowing it to come out with ease, as much as you can, like go within more to bring it out. It can come out with ease. You begin to flow with your whole self, rather than look for the outside validation, invitation, permission, expectancy of you to be something. All of that becomes less and less important and less relevant, when you know, functioning as your whole self, there is a centering connection to expressing that. So you can't be whole if you don't spend the time to understand, research, feel, and develop who you are as a soul, and give that respect. Otherwise you just get pushed around in the world to fit in or to please. And it's like an outside tug of war, really, because you want to get more, or they want more from you. And so inside's being left out. So then there's a battle with you and you you're human pleasing the outside, and then the inside's not. Like what Eckhart Tolle describes it as, you can describe it as dormant. The inner world is dormant because we're so preoccupied with what we can call history, or just any part of our identity to where we are now. So, like I was saying, the experience I'm in, I'm whole in the way I function and with presence. And that's not a point I reached. That's an ongoing point I maintain and expand. And that's what we all are essentially doing. But just say, like what's happening to me with this other person, he is somewhat at his level behaving whole, like he knows what's going on, the appearance of healthy and well and helpfulness, and and this is not criticism, this is just what is happening. But when it comes to a personal part in his life, which is the awareness of the twin flame soul reunion, it's not being treated as a part of the whole. It's being ignored, and this part is like not healthy. So it's like saying I'm immune to feeling wholeness to do with this part of my life, which never works. And so I bring this up in a flow session because status is more important to this person rather than dealing with the truth that's happening in his life at the moment. And this also, for me, has highlighted more and more how I see and have experienced growing up in a world that glorifies celebrity. Now, I don't particularly like the word celebrity, but I do have admiration for people who are good at their roles. But this world glorifies a life or lives that look like they don't have to go through stuff. But that's why I bring to your attention, no human is immune to feeling. So we really need to shift out of the perspective that if you have money or status, you have a perfect existence. And it's grounding to let go of those illusions and come back down to earth. Because when souls start living like this, like even some celebrities, no doubt, would say things like, I don't have to put up with certain things, or I need to have things a particular way. And then, the people around them are expected to follow suit with that demand because image in the outside world. I can't be around that kind of energy, because to me that's saying all the other souls are less important because you're good at your job. We all are good at heart, and so every person needs to be treated with respect. So if you're sped up in life and you think you just keep going and people around you are just servants, you need to slow down and realize you wouldn't have the popularity if you weren't serving them. So as much as you think of yourself so good, so are they. Because you have a connection that's true in some respect, admiration of whatever skills, talents, and abilities you have. And the people that are admiring you, the souls, are, I think it would be best if you looked at them as though you are representing an example, so that you maintain the groundedness that you're an example of something, and connect with them truthfully more and treat them decently whenever in contact with them, because that's most important for all souls on the planet. And obviously, I don't need to say, but it would help their own souls as well, with the opportunity of being more love than blocking it for image importance, like self-image being more important. So it really is a level of awareness and consciousness for why we're actually here. And that's why I had my heart painting up before, which is still beside me, but it's a good time to remind everyone we're here for heart growth. See clear through the waves of life. Always go back to the heart. That's where you grow your soul in this world. So my notes for this session is, so if you're holding on to feelings, you know, not wanting to do something, or challenges, or just thinking it's going to be resolved some way, it's like out of my hands, I don't have to look at it, I don't have to be there, I don't have to see it, I don't have to listen, I don't have to do anything. If you're holding on to feelings, it's up to you to receive the message. This is the responsibility of each soul, especially if you want clearing of feelings you don't like, because they're only going to repeat until you get the message. Feelings, it's up to you to receive the message, because it's all spirit, it's energy. There is a message trying to get through if something's repeating, or if you're doing something like this in life. I don't want to face that, and you tell yourself you're whole. It's not true. It's up to you to receive the message of learning and grow. Now, I think I might pause the session soon and do a small meditation to do with the point of and grow. So we're receiving a message, getting into that space of learning. That's what a message always is. There's something for you to notice or share and grow. So your steps forward, once you've taken the time to receive, understand what the learning in your space is, like whether you're present or not, your learning that's being trying to reach you via your experience, so that you can grow, because it's always growth. It's an opportunity for growth in everything. There is never, we're not here for anything else. Can we ever hit a pause button on life and not have to interact in some way, either within ourselves, in our space, you know, spiritual practices, or as soon as we walk out the door? Everything is an opportunity for the soul growth. So everything is trying to tell or teach you something. And clear regret for wanting life or wanting it to be different in life. Sometimes we can get stuck in these kind of positions where we block things out, telling ourselves we're whole, we don't have to do something, but we know we're really just holding it off. Because we've got this thing stuck with all these different, we'll have different streams in here telling ourselves we don't have to do it. How could it be? It's not right timing. Why do they want me to do it? All these things in here where we're saying to ourselves constantly, the frequency is, why does it have to be this way? No, I want it to be different. It is really enriching to sit with yourself and realize that's what you're doing. And if you can clear that, it's well-being, it's wholeness. So facing it. And so that's I believe it will be a small meditation. I'm not too sure, but I think we'll branch into that now in some quiet. And I will receive a message from my highest light guidance, assistance, for whomever will be listening to this. It will have some resonance to assist if you're aware of this or used to this or doing this and need to learn to face things for the opportunity of life, because that's what life is. So I feel it's the most beautiful thing in the world to be in discordance, and I know this sounds strange, but when you've been battling something with yourself and then say something else happens in your life and you realize, well, I can't go on anymore. I have to face this part of myself or this relationship or this environment I'm always in. I have to clear something here. I have to clear. So I have to let go. And in that choice, you're clearing that energy for growth. So you're clearing it, and the growth process is, I must stay conscious of letting this energy go, which I think we'll go and breathe through this. Conscious of letting this energy go and waiting in that space of the energy dissipation to receive an understanding of the growth. So I find that the most beautiful thing, when the human can finally accept without being fighting oneself in the illusion that things are meant to be different than what they are. And then it feels like the jewels and the gems are able to truly, with the supportive Mother Earth energy rising in the space of the clearing, the jewels and the gems of energetic beingness, this is what I see, have the opportunity for rising for what's been waiting for you to feel. The human's no longer blocking up with the headspace full of, demand and blockage and walls barring off the energetic field of the soul. It's just like powerful rising flow. And be careful not to declare that as unimportant, because it can just be a shift in your feeling of your body, or if you really are in the moment, it will become more of a message. But if you brush it off like it's like nothing's happening or there's nothing else to it, and you don't persist with your energy field, then that's when you kind of will give up on any positive note and stay more in the regret. So you have to kind of notice that your energy field can have shifts and changes. And everyone receives differently intuitively, so you could easily get inspiration, like it would drop in and you'll have a nice feeling. I do around my heart space area, and then I check in with my solar plexus as to, you know, do I go further into this feeling? Is there a more deeper message? And if there is, normally my space sort of opens up and I'm sitting with a higher feeling of energy that's speaking to me. So I think I'll leave it there because I think that's pretty explanatory. That feeling is we know it's bodily, but to receive the messages of the feeling is also a shift in the bodily feeling. So I think all I'm trying to say there is persist with the subtle realm of your energy field, because that's really how it expands for you to feel stronger from that field within out, because the inward field is nurturing that which you cannot see yet. It's nurturing the inner field so that the soul can express itself. So it's just really a lovely expansion of the inner world presence that changes the outer. If we get out of our head. Perhaps we'll just sit here. I was going to pause the video and take a seat on the floor, but I might just dim the lights. Let's clear any headspace feeling of a lot of discussion just then. And make sure we get right back to the bodily function importance of grounding our systems. Mind, release. Emotional body, release. we come to a neutral awareness, heavenly body, heavenly soul, oneness. Feelings are your messages. There is no way to move forward. You are discovering your messages bit by bit. How else would you know what to follow, when to follow, why to follow, how to follow, if you follow, if you did not experience these? Give yourself space to receive the messages of your heavenly body, heavenly souls. On planet Earth, heavenly experience through ups and downs. You receive guidance, structured symbolism, symbols in place. Something is always there for you to take notice of. Don't give up and out your energy field like a worry spout. When the body is distracted with worry, fear, it doesn't ground. The message is clear. This is a real thing in your energy field. This is a block in your center, below your solar plexus area, where you will give out your precious energy to the field instead of receiving in the energy. Instead of receiving in the energy that's for your message. To ground you. Spiritual practice highlights the need for this. So notice when you might give out in a rush, and leaving nothing really for groundedness in yourself. To receive from your groundedness in yourself. Plant your energy. Seed your life experience. Plant your energy. You don't want to be immune to feeling. You want to receive from within this connection. And we are with you constantly. Your guidance offerings, if you will notice just a little of these. You can plant your energy in peace. This is allowing your flow, divine body, heaven, heart, soul, flow, to not give out in fear, but to breathe in and flow it all the way down is a much better habit. Watering your seeds. And Mother Earth adores you. Your planting of seeds, your watering. When we block the sunshine solar plexus and throw out our fears in worry, concern, neglect of ourselves, we block the divine source flow, watering Mother. And the seeds she knows. So, God bless your soul. God is your heavenly body connection. And in knowing that, God bless your soul. So, in other words, you do that for yourself. God bless my soul. Like gratitude of the highest, appreciation of the highest, full contented awareness combined. God bless my soul. no one can love you more than you can, of the whole. No one can do that part for you. And the more you're resonant with the awareness of blessing your soul, it's the central part of letting go, allowing flow, seeds watered, planted, growth. So you have the spiritual practice to plant and water where you are at. You nourish, face the feelings of unease, any regret, therefore there'll be neglect. You sit down with the intent to clear your space, water your earth, and receive connection, the heavenly bodies to your heavenly body, one with earth. This is strong, powerful, rich resource. This is self. This is beyond what you see of me. I am the last of the emanation of that field. That field that is emanating to be distinguished in this way is operated, the operating system is the heavenly body soul connection. The soul is emanating out of Teresa's form. Combined with all spiritual design, that which we can identify with, the ego. But we must not concentrate on what emanates in the superficial, in the exterior experience, but what wants to come through Teresa's ego. Not operating from ego, through the egoic aspect of the human, the spiritual human experience. So through this being. You know, we need the bodies to be here in this experience, but there is an operating system. And all systems are not the same. I mean, the system is the same. We can all research the layers of the field and the chakras, consciousness that we all have, but we experience differently because we are unique soul beings. So we need to ground in our intricacy. We need to experience our uniqueness in all its intricacies by taking that spiritual reflection, practice. And once you're in that spiritual reflection practice, you gaze in contemplation of any messages. And then if you feel inspiration, write them in as much detail as you want, which is what I would do. Get up early in the morning and just be writing for like a good hour or so. Or ask for guidance as to be led each day. Please lead me in the direction of my highest self pathway. Don't let me get distracted with too much lower energies that are on the planet finding their way. May I be a guiding light for them instead, as I follow my soul light path and reflect on it often. I feel like there's a lot more to come through at the moment, so I might just allow that. I'll ask the question, what more? Because it can stop and start at any rate, depending on what the higher realms and my connection is due to what is happening now of importance. What is a connection for importance? So, and I love that feeling of there is more flow to come through, and I'll know when to finish. So I'll just ask that, because this session is moving along in time. So if anyone is wanting to go deeper and learning more how to open up themselves in channel, because I give as much tips, directional guidance as I can, but we are all unique, and there are some valuable and invaluable courses and teachers out there like Lee Harris, Sonia Choquette. Can study more in depth and vastness of archetypal life as well with Carolyn Mace. There are so many. So there's Mike Dooley. He has some excellent courses, excellent guidance to assist along the path. Eckhart Tolle, of course, absolutely. Even more of his courses in the past couple of years. Wonderful. But Lee Harris has a channeling course. So if you want to open up, understanding of yourself and how you receive and ground them, it's a good place to go. He covers it all. I haven't needed to do it because I've done some channeling courses in the past, but Lee covers everything, I think, in an evolved way for the times now. So, guides, anything left unsaid? Make this commitment to yourself, for you are the most valuable asset to oneself. there is no expansion if you have no concentration on this yourself. And be guided by your glorious companionship with this world. You are one with all. In your experience. And you must take care of your operating field of existence first. And then it becomes more of a oneness. If you're putting your operating system, your field first, noticing and spiritual practicing, being with yourself, you'll hold that space for the, I want to say firstness, but oneness is the understanding. But if you're putting yourself first, then you will naturally be at one, stronger and stronger with your experience. So you work in unison. That's how you hold the space of one. Because humans need to understand there is no interruption in that vast connection. So anything you truly want, you only need allow that to happen. The occurrence that you're not separate from it. And it's only the mind in a slower dimension that has made you think you cannot have what you want. But we open that space now for you all. For the incremental realization of mind control, trappings, halting flow. We work with you opening. You'll work to release mind thoughts of stagnation, in this clearing. And you don't want to be immune to feeling. Feel it all. And you have plenty of humans around to hold hands for honest conversation. And if you do not dig that hole for seed planting, you'll have nothing to water. It is not a trudging hole of the mind. Bogging you down with less growth. It is a awareness that feelings don't always feel perfect, but once you allow the feelings to take place and it feels like you could be burying yourself, you are literally creating the space for the seeds to grow. So don't avoid your feelings. But we do have something to touch on. Teresa thinks of that wants to get her point across. That we are all sunshines, and we shut our sunshine off all too quick, that it's become more of a automatic, where we need to face ourselves in honesty, that we shouldn't be shutting ourselves down in honesty. We dim our light, our sunshine for our flow, seeds planted, and growth. The reminder is it happens all too often. So you must notice when you've let yourself not feel good and taken on other emotion due to life experience. It's not your own. In noticing this, you can build healthy boundaries, which is your sphere to be taken care of. The noticing is the emphasis of I'll maintain my power and it won't be given away so easily. And in that is the space and energy field for growth. Open. Be a clear channel of flow. Remind yourself of that regularly. And bit by bit, you grow. Clearing, expression, I am not blocked by flow, because the field is flow and everyone's flowing differently, and I will not be blocked by it. I will be open for my sunshine flow. Flow. And anything of a nature that distracts from that, I'll give it a second contemplation. If it's persistent in blocking a flow, then it's not for my flow. If it's persistent in raising my vibration to take notice, I will offer my consciousness in flow until it, it's an ongoing awareness that I don't have to give out my attention of flow to anything that is unresonant here in my space of flow. So I'll just finish on the hour mark, I believe. We've covered everything. But it's a good way to notice whether something is blocking you in your life experience, to know that you are heaven to earth, and that is a constant flow. And anything of any nature that's resonant in any 360 degree aspect of our life experience, anything that perhaps, comes at you, we can use this example, where it feels like you don't want it in your field, then honestly, at the best nature possible in acknowledging it, because we don't have to go low to meet a vibration we don't like. We stand in our light and allow the flow of our consciousness, like I think I spoke about in session 14 with don't let fear control you. Become aware and notice when you feel uneasy in any part of your life flow, and give consciousness through the breath, maintaining your field, to speak openly and honestly, which is very clearing for the heart and throat chakra, not to mention everything, but it's expanding and strengthening and reinforcing. You're not here to battle lower vibrations, but to stand in this subtle strength. Everyone's soul, that is. This is the nature of every soul. Stand in your subtle strengths in light. Speak openly and honestly. And if you're not getting along with someone, then you don't have to. Move along. At least you spoke openly and honestly for that experience, and you don't, want to go around in your life experience leaving marks, I guess you could call it opinionated, like, well, I think it's like this and that's the way it should be. You don't want to battle that, and you don't necessarily want that either, because the truth is it's different for everybody. And if we learn off each other in a nice respect, whether we like each other or not, there's a possibility of learning and expansion, getting judgment out of the way. So everything can be dealt with at this open, honest, and receiving back the same open, honest. Because with those healthy boundaries, you're maintaining that that's all you want to receive. So that's what you will attract. But if you let yourself go lower and battle people or things or situations, then you're not getting like your own message. Or you got to look at your healthy boundaries and say, well, this isn't good for my health to operate at this level. So what can I do for myself with, clearing of my field? And don't forget, you're opening to the truth of your field, your heavenly body connected to heavenly bodies, energy assistants, your guidance team of the highest light, you want to call on, because there's various guides that can be within the energy field that may not have the best intent. So you want to make sure you're connecting with a resonance that feels right for you. So in channeling, that's probably one good bit of advice I would give, that to make sure you are grounded, neutral, and open to the highest light, which also means maintaining high vibrations in your life so that you can have that connection. And everyone will get along, so to speak, in our ups and downs, and we're not meant to communicate with every single person, so we'll get along and we'll move on through life's fields of experience. I give thanks to the sacred oneness. We all are and inhabit. Thank you, Mother Earth, and everybody. God bless. I hope you got something out of this and move on with some clarity in your oneness. Bye for now.